This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This morning on Sunrise, a local nurse faces more than 40 charges of assault. What investigators say she stole from patients. Plus, Portland's Juneteenth parade celebrates more than 50 years. We have the sights and sounds from this year's event. Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Sunday. Happy Father's Day. I'm Deidre Johnson. But first, let's check in with Daisy Caballero for a quick look at the forecast. Hey, Daisy.
Hey, Deidre. Good morning and happy Sunday. Also, happy Father's Day. Feliz Dia de los Padres for everyone that is celebrating this morning or today. 52 degrees here in the beautiful Rose City. Yes, we're dealing with some cloud coverage, but the sun will be peeking through a little bit later on in the day. Satellite radar showing those light scattered showers already starting to pass through the coastline and some headed up and down the I-5 corridor. Haven't quite seen any measurable amount of rain just yet. We're expecting for today those light scattered showers, yes, to continue throughout the day, but way lighter than what we saw yesterday. Quick look at your current temperatures: 47 degrees for Hillsborough, also for Beaverton, 48 down in Tigard, 47 for Oregon City, 49 degrees for Aurora, 50 degrees in Canby, and 53 for the Salem area. So this is what your day at a glance is going to be looking like. 61 degrees by right about noon with partly sunny skies. Light spotty showers for the second half of the day, right about 65 degrees by 5 o'clock. And check out that sunset. 9:01 today.
All right, thanks so much, Daisy. Well, we start with a couple of quick traffic alerts. Another round of MAX disruptions begins tonight. Starting at 7:30, Red Line trains will not run between the Gateway Transit Center and PDX. This runs through Friday. This will allow TriMet to run tests on their new Type 6 MAX trains. Trains will resume normal operations every morning. The Red Line returns to full service on June 22nd. And starting tomorrow, there will be overnight closures on Highway 26. This impacts the area between Cornelius Pass Road and Brookwood Parkway. Crews will be repairing the pavement and traffic will detour to Evergreen Parkway. The overnight closures are set to go through Thursday. Well, a former ICU nurse is charged with 44 counts of second-degree assault. Danny Marie Schofield pleaded not guilty on Friday. She worked at the Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center in Medford. Investigators say she switched out patients prescribed fentanyl for tap water. They say it happened over a year and some patients developed infections. The judge set her bail at $4 million. She was also denied a court-appointed attorney. If she posts bail, she will go on pretrial probation.
No contact with any surviving victim or alleged victim, no intoxicants testing upon request, and no contact with Asante Rogue Regional Medical Center or any property unless for emergency services.
Her next court date is set for June 24th. Some shellfish harvesting is back open on the coast. The Oregon Department of Agriculture announced razor clams can once again be commercially harvested. However, bay clams and mussels still aren't considered safe. 3 weeks ago, high levels of a biotoxin in a shellfish started making people sick. That stopped a lot of the harvesting.
I think the most difficult part for us has been like that public facing piece and explaining to people why we don't have oysters.
The lifting of the oyster harvesting ban came just a day before this weekend's Oyster Fest in Tillamook. Weight loss drugs like Ozempic are becoming more popular, but with high costs and limited insurance coverage options, some are seeking cheaper alternative. Christine Pei finds out what's safe and what's not.
Ozempic and Wegovy are brand name drugs originally designed for diabetes patients because of their effectiveness in regulating blood sugar and reducing appetite. They're now frequently prescribed for weight loss.
The demand is astronomical.
Jimmy Leonard is a managing director of the Washington Poison Center. He has a background in pharmacy and toxicology. He says along with Ozempic's popularity comes a risk of accessing knockoff versions that can make you sick.
We are seeing cases here in the state of Washington. I reviewed about 6 months worth of cases.
The Poison Center takes calls about any overdose concerns, and Leonard says they saw the number of weight loss drug-related calls double this year so far compared to 2022 and 2023. Wegovy. Over the past 6 months, they've received 60 calls about this.
The big things that we're seeing are nausea and vomiting and essentially food intolerance.
Ozempic and Wegovy are drugs known as semaglutides.
It helps, increase your body's release of insulin when you eat food, right? So that was part of it, so that you had more insulin to help maintain your blood sugar in a normal range.
And the drug, given as an injection, has been exceptionally effective in weight loss.
It's really the demand that has pushed people, and its shortages, right? So the drug company was trying to manufacture as much as they possibly can, and has just not been able to keep up with astronomical demand for it.
Off-brand versions have since emerged. Leonard says some of these versions are compound medications, which is when ingredients are combined or altered to create a medication tailored to the needs of a patient. The compound versions, these so-called knockoff versions, are they effective and safe to use?
It's really unclear at this point, right? The most of the time when we hear about them is when somebody had something go wrong.
Celebrations are underway in Portland ahead of Juneteenth. Juneteenth celebrates the day African slaves in Texas found out they were emancipated. While it was recognized as a federal holiday 3 years ago, Clara Peoples brought the celebration to the city 52 years ago. Our city Dorner has more.
This Saturday, 1,500 people marched along MLK Drive in honor of Juneteenth. The people I spoke to say their mission is clear: celebrating the freedom of emancipated slaves, but also celebrating Black leaders here in Portland. Energy was high this year at the 52nd annual Clara Peoples Freedom Trail Parade, also known as Juneteenth, Oregon. The celebration started right near the Martin Luther King School in Northeast Portland and ended at Lillis Albina Park. The event isn't just a celebration, but also a mentorship program and pageant for young women 6 to 19. Miss Juneteenth 2023 and 2024, Princess Fletcher, says the Black community should be uplifted more than just 1 month a year.
We have February, and that's not really enough, and there's Juneteenth where we celebrate our freedom and how beautiful and bright our culture is. And I feel like that just brings so much beauty to the community, especially here in Portland, where it's so diverse.
This diversity didn't come easy. Organizer for the parade, Heather Coleman Cox, says Oregon once had exclusionary laws that prohibited Black people from moving into the state. She says celebrations like this show how far we've come.
Those laws stayed on the books until 1926, so it's very important in this state to show unity, to show that the Black citizens are welcome.
Between the live bands, cheerleaders, and even clowns, you could just feel how much fun people were having. Nikki Brown Clown spends her time pouring into the Black youth here in Portland as a literacy advocate and entertainer. She says this is one of her favorite days of the year.
It feels phenomenal. It's like a homecoming for us, and it just feels great to be completely celebrated and embraced.
Sydney Dorner, KGW News.
It was a special graduation in Corvallis on Saturday. Oregon State University says a record number of students graduated this year at more than 7,600. NFL running back and former Beaver Steven Jackson gave Saturday's commencement address. Portland State held its commencement on Friday, and the University of Oregon has their graduation ceremony tomorrow. Congrats to all the grads.